urbanization, cities, and so on. We have some questions from the viewers. So let's pick one. What do you think that Copenhagen still lacks to become a fully green city or not?
I think the biggest thing that hasn't really been addressed, it's being addressed now, is the mobility. I know we're good at cycling. Everything is, we have so many, as we said, like 50% of people commute by bikes, but we haven't addressed the car. Actually, public transport is very low in compared to the rest.
It's also really expensive.
It's very expensive and that kind of model. And I think it's something that's been left out of the low-hanging fruits to deal with in their climate strategy. So I think that's the next thing that's really going to kick off. But
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, I would say, to the audience, because obviously, Copenhagen is a very, livable city. Myself, I've lived, from Singapore to Rio and a number of Central European cities. And I think, the next frontier for Copenhagen would be to find a way to do urban farming and basically exploit, you can say, also the fact that we have a number of old buildings to figure out how do we actually energy efficiency optimize them.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I'm looking forward when we're gonna make all these plants like they do it now in the Netherlands, that plantation inside in multiple levels of the building and without even having natural lights inside the building and so on. So let's hope you're gonna find some cool ideas to invest in. And
actually, just quickly, I know that Copenhagen is looking at that. So they want to procure, I think it was 80 or 90% of what they buy as a municipality within the greater Copenhagen region. I can't remember the statistics or whatever, but that is an aim, and I think that's a big thing that will be happening. So.
Yeah, then let's look forward to that. And then you mentioned time as a challenge. And do you feel that lack of time is more like a positive fact on motivating us act right now, or it feels more like a run that we cannot win?
Yeah, that's a tricky question, because I think in terms of time, it's obviously good that it's a motivator that we need to do something. The challenge with that is that you don't always have the time to find the right solutions. So it's a little bit both positive and negative. And I would say there's more risk to the fact that we have a time pressure than there's maybe advantages right now, especially because we see it's a systemic challenge rather than something, okay, we can say directly this is a disease like COVID-19. Let's get together the pharmaceutical companies, let's organize communities and societies. That's quite tangible. But this is so, you need to untangle it. And that's why I mentioned, the true way of basically solving that is using data and technology to finding sustainable solutions and putting them into the urban environment to solve climate challenge where, we have 70% of all CO2.
Scott, do you have a word on that?
I think the valid point about the COVID was we've come together as a global society to kind of act on this. Why we don't do that for climate, that's another discussion. Maybe when time gets even shorter, things will happen, but yeah.
And hopefully we're going to get together before time is too short. And then let's pick a last question. Do you find working with cities and like communities difficult because of all the paperwork?
All the paperwork?
Like responding and having to fit to specific... Yeah. I mean, that's what I think that a few are meant.
I think working with cities themselves, it's not the paperwork, it's stuff like that. It's actually, they have their own job. So when you're talking about innovation, you're talking about new things which is outside their scope of what they work. They do not have time to do that. They're already 100% working on doing their role as a job. That's where we've worked with them a little bit and try and take some of that resource and time, and we can support that. But I think that's the biggest issue. If companies see a value in something, they will work with it. So I don't see it as a big issue, and I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I believe that cities are really, you can say, good cooperators in terms of the fact that they are long-term, but that also means it takes a lot of time to build the relationship with them, which obviously is good because they protect populations and citizens. And where I see there's a huge opportunity, fundamentally coming from a technology angle is GovTech, where, we can actually make life easier for a number of people on managing all the paperwork and all those things. So I think that would be my 2 cents on that.
Okay, thank you so much for being here, sharing all your experiences, all your thoughts, and hope to see you next year.
Thank you.
And we can say this Corona goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.